I think it was inevitable that I would eventually start directing. I think for one, I have too much energy. I find myself sort of directing scenes anyway when I'm on set and switching lines around and moving things here and there. I know the cop work better than any of the directors that come in here. They don't really work with cops as much as I do. And, it just seemed like a natural evolution. But I gotta say, despite that, it's still a little daunting, directing Tom Selleck, for example. Tom's a TV legend, and he's a good actor. He's smart. He knows the business as good as anyone. He knows when it's BS and when it's not. And so, to direct him, it's you got to be ready. And I believe me, I thought I could direct in season 1, but I want to take a few years, get a few seasons under my belt before I even dared to sort of step behind the camera and say, cut to Tom Selleck. We're all a very tight-knit cast, and to put on a different hat for the first time and to be in front of everybody at the dinner scene, it's kind of where we come together and like commune, It's like we reunite after a week of shooting and we all talk and we all catch up and we all tell stories, but now to suddenly sort of be saying cut in action and saying, give me a little bit more here and stuff. It's very unusual. But I gotta say, it's actually the easiest scene to direct is the family dinner scene because it kind of directs itself. We have so much fun when we're doing the scene, and we work out the scripts sort of as actors, I'm not really working out with them as a director. I'm just one of the actors sort of, taking care of my fellow actors and making sure we feel like we have a cohesive scene.
Actors don't tell other actors what to do. They don't say, can you say that way for me so my line's better? Because acting is based on separate characters bringing a life into the scene. So Donnie knows that code as well as I do. So it was just weird the first couple times to hear him say, cut and don't do that. When you do that, I won't be able to see it on camera. And I just got used to that. That being said, Donnie's a talented man, a talented actor, and he brings that to directing, and I can already see that. It's very reassuring for an actor to work with another actor as a director. Because they get what we do.
I heard out of all the cast members that you like to eat the most during these family dinners.
Yeah, I've eaten about 6 cannolis right now. I was gonna direct myself not to eat so much, but the cannolis are so good that I changed my mind and directed myself to enjoy as many cannolis as possible. So I'm on number 6, and we still have 3 setups to go.
You get no say in the menu, and how much you eat depends on how brave you are. Donnie, I think it's a character choice, but Donnie eats. He eats, and sometimes eventually complains about it. But he's playing a cop, and I think cops eat. So it's cool. But and the rest of us, we try to do deals. We've been called out on it because some of us have these tricks, that we do in order to not constantly eat during the scene, and we've been called out. So we might have to go back and really up our game.
Usually Donnie goes for whatever the vegetable is, and I usually try to eat, some lettuce or something, potatoes. But I usually go to the potatoes too. It's good. You pick what's safe. You think, what am I not going to get salmonella from?
I could eat a lot. Sometimes it fits the character and fits the energy of the scene. There's something very energizing about a character who's eating and talking and doing everything. The trick is you don't want to do it in a gross way and have food in your mouth when you're talking all the time. But it just depends on the content of the scene. Except for Donnie, he eats all the time.
It's based around our restaurant. Wahlburgers is a restaurant that Mark and I co-own with our brother Paul, who's a chef, and a very successful chef in his own right. And we decided to go into business with him on a restaurant called Wahlburgers. Our mother happens to work there too, and we just decided, Mark and I, to do a reality show about it. And we kind of couldn't resist. We're part of the business, so we have to be in the show in that regard. And we're both a couple of hams, so when the camera starts rolling, we inevitably sort of had to join in the fun.